You know, you shouldn't bet every game in the NFL. In fact, most games are just toss-ups and should be avoided completely. But if you do have to pick a side, let's take a look at the biggest toss-ups of Week 13. Jared Smith of SportsGrid is here to help us out, and we start things off with the resurgent Jets giving 3.5 in Cincy. Jets coming off a big win over a playoff contender in Oakland, and now they're going to face a winless team. And the last time they faced a winless team, they lost. So, of course, you like the Jets here, right?
This is a scary game if you're a Jets fan, and it's funny because when you look at a game again, we talked about 3 being that key number, and when we looked at the spread before we came on, it's down to 3 now. So it's gone from 3.5. So people are betting the winless Bengals this week. I don't know why. I don't know how. Andy Dalton coming back, I think, stabilizes the offense a little bit. I love the Jets especially last week, but the last 3 weeks, you've really seen Sam Darnold take a step forward mentally, which I think is huge for him after what we saw, early in the year with the mono and the ghosts in New England and all that stuff. He's put it behind him, but can you lay 3.5 or now 3 on the road with the Jets? That's the question. That's why this is kind of in that toss-up category for me. I wouldn't be surprised, based on what we've seen with the Jets, if the Bengals won this game. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, does the return of Andy Dalton, which Andy Dalton's going to be the starting quarterback this week once again, does it help or hurt Cincy get the number 1 pick?
I think
not win the game.
Yeah, right.
Get the number 1 pick.
It's funny because Dalton's been such an enigma. He's put up such great numbers in the regular season, and in the big games he's faltered. This feels like kind of that revenge spot, like you benched me for this Ryan Finley guy, and I'm going to show, So that's not really the right attitude to have. That's a very me attitude, not a team attitude. However, if we're talking about a single
it's still
game,
a motivator.
It is still a motivator, and obviously the line movement here, now that we saw this line go from 3.5 to 3, there's some money coming in on the Bengals. So I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati kept this close, but I can't take Cincinnati. You go with the movement here, and if you have to bet this game, you take the Jets, and you just hope that they don't lay an egg on the road.
All right, the Colts, 2.5-point home favorites to the Titans. Tennessee looks just more energized with Ryan Tannehill at the helm. Are the pros buying him?
Yes, but also they're treading lightly. This line opened at 3, and it seems like every AFC South game ends on 3 or 4. And the Colts have a really knack for playing close games. I think, what is it, 1? Yeah, Indy's the only team in the NFL that only 1 game has been decided by more than 7. So, the Colts play a lot of close games. The Titans have certainly had a little bit of a spark with Tannehill, but they're on the road here. This seems like another close game. That's why I put it in the toss-up section. If you can get the full 3, I think there's value there, but it looks like 2.5 is kind of where this line's going to kind of middle between 2.5 and 1.5. It'll probably float in that spot where the Titans will be a short dog. I still think there's some value with the Titans, though.
Okay, so with the Titans, especially I think there's Derrick Henry, he scored a touchdown in all but 3 games this year. And have you seen what he's done over the past 2 weeks? He's averaging 173 yards a game on the ground the last 2 weeks.
And
the Colts give up big numbers to big backs.
Yeah, and that's why anytime I get divisional games in the AFC South, I'm going to take points. We saw it with the Colts-Texans game. Texans won the game, didn't cover. The line netted at 4.5. They won by 4. So, if you can get points in an AFC South game, if you can get the full 3, then it maybe gets bumped up into the lean category. But I think 2.5,
still a toss-up.
Still a toss-up.
All right, the Redskins getting 10 points in Carolina against the Panthers. What would that have looked like if the Redskins didn't pick up their second win last week?
Probably 13 or 14.
It might have been.
Yeah, it might have been. This is a tough game to bet on. Obviously, if you've got Christian McCaffrey in your fantasy league and you're going to the playoffs, you're going to keep
feeling pretty good.
Yeah, you're feeling pretty good. You're going to keep your eyes locked into this game. But if you're a gambler, I don't know how you can lay 10 points with what we've seen with Carolina. I mean, and I don't know how I could take 10 points with the Redskins, even though they're coming off a win. This is a classic stay-away game. Like, this
is why it's in the toss-ups, man.
If there was ever a stay-away game in the NFL, this is it. I mean, if you had to pick this game, I'll take 10 points because double digits, I don't care who's playing. It seems like that's a lot. So I'll certainly take the double-digit points, but man, don't bet this game unless you have to.
That's how you feel for most of the games. The Cardinals, 3-point home dogs to the Rams. The public, it feels like, has lost faith in the Rams.
Yes.
Are the pros leaning towards them at all?
Arizona sneaky been one of the best ATS teams in the league.
Kyler Murray has turned things around this year.
I really like what I've seen from Kingsbury as well, Cliff Kingsbury, the head coach. It seems like it took them a couple of weeks to kind of figure things out. And again, Kingsbury didn't play Kyler Murray in the preseason at all. Not one snap. Rookie. How often do you see a rookie quarterback in the NFL? I don't care if you're.
He didn't want to show his cards.
Exactly. So what that tells me.
Sorry.
You're a smart man. That's why you get that seat right there, Steve. But you know, when you get closer to the end of the year, you start to see tendencies and trends and formations kind of. And Kyler Murray's a great talent. That's why he was picked first overall. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals win this game outright. This was close to making it into the leans. I'm getting the full field goal with Arizona. Jared Goff, I mean, I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Super Bowl hangover times a million.
No kidding. I mean, it's almost like teams have figured out what he can and cannot do. And please, can Cooper Kupp catch a ball? Can they throw the ball to Cooper Kupp every now and again? Those 0 points in the fantasy leagues are killing me. All right, nonetheless, Broncos giving the Chargers 3 points in Mile High.
Yeah.
Two teams without a whole lot to play for. But does that mean that there's any exploitable angle because of that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're getting 3 points with Denver at home. Denver's a good home team. The Chargers, though, are starting to get healthy. Derwin James is going to make his season debut, and obviously a lot of talk preseason about him. He was one of the best safeties in the league last year. Chargers just have this knack for losing games at the buzzer, or like getting right to the inch of winning a game and then falling short. So it's tough to lay points on the road with them. That's why this is a toss-up pick, because I just don't see a lot of value on either side. Again, getting 3 at home is like the default value for any NFL team.
Pick 'em more.
Yeah. So basically, if you've got to take this game, look to see if you can get 3.5 if it goes over that number. But I don't foresee it, because this is not going to be a very highly bet game this week. Again, I try to do this where it's like, okay, this isn't a game that anyone really is going to be betting heavily, so you shouldn't be looking at it too much unless you do see a crazy angle, or if there's a big line move, then maybe you can get some value.
All right, well, that is a look at his toss-up bets. Make sure you check out his top plays of Week 13 and our other segments, and keep an eye on the line movement on sportsline.com. For Jared Smith of SportsGrid, I'm Steve Overmyer, and this is Fanalysis.